Fact number 1. Rudabaugh's feud connection. In the annals of the American Old West, Dave Rudabaugh stands as a vivid embodiment of the era's lawlessness and adventure. Fleeing the consequences of his criminal activities and legal entanglements, Rudabaugh's life took a new turn as he sought refuge in the sprawling landscapes of Arizona. It was here, against the backdrop of the rugged terrain and simmering tensions, that he became intertwined with the notorious Clanton faction and their ongoing feud against the Earp family. Rudabaugh's journey to Arizona was likely fueled by a mix of necessity and opportunism. Escaping the long arm of the law and seeking fresh prospects, he gravitated toward a territory where lawlessness often coexisted with law enforcement. The Clanton faction, led by Ike and Billy Clanton, was emblematic of this complex dynamic. Comprising a loose association of cattle ranchers and individuals with a penchant for trouble, the Clantons were known for their strained relations with the Earp family, particularly Wyatt Earp and his brothers. Dave Rudabaugh's alignment with the Clanton faction was not merely an isolated decision. It was a calculated move that immersed him in the heart of one of the West's most notorious feuds. The Earp-Clanton feud was characterized by a volatile mix of personal vendettas, economic interests, and territorial disputes. The town of Tombstone, Arizona, served as the backdrop for this simmering conflict. While the precise extent of Rudabaugh's involvement in the Clanton faction's activities isn't fully documented, his presence undoubtedly added another layer of complexity to the already fraught situation. As tensions escalated between the two factions, the stage was set for a dramatic confrontation that would etch the feud into the annals of history, the gunfight at the OK Corral. The infamous gunfight, which took place on October 26, 1881, was a climactic clash between the Earps and their allies, including Doc Holliday and the Clanton-McClory faction. Although Rudabaugh's direct involvement in the gunfight isn't widely recorded, his alignment with the Clanton faction situates him in the broader context of this pivotal moment. The gunfight, marked by its rapid exchanges of gunfire and subsequent legal proceedings, underscored the explosive nature of disputes in the Wild West. Dave Rudabaugh's tenure with the Clanton faction highlighted the intricate web of relationships that defined the era. Friendships, alliances, and rivalries were forged amidst a landscape that offered limited opportunities and abundant dangers. For Rudabaugh, the decision to align with the Clantons might have been a calculated gamble, a chance to reshape his destiny or further entrench himself in the outlaw lifestyle. Ultimately, Dave Rudabaugh's association with the Clanton faction showcases the multifaceted nature of the American Old West. It was a realm where individuals navigated a challenging terrain of morality, survival, and ambition. Whether driven by a thirst for adventure, a desire for camaraderie, or a bid for redemption, Rudabaugh's journey through the Arizona frontier offers a glimpse into an era defined by its contradictions and complexities. Fact number 2. Dave Rudabaugh's Mexican gunfight. Dave Rudabaugh's turbulent journey through the Wild West took an unexpected turn beyond the familiar borders of the United States. On February 18, 1886, the scene shifted to Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, a locale that would witness the final fateful chapter of Rudabaugh's tumultuous life. Rudabaugh's presence in Parral marked a continuation of his restless pursuit of opportunity, escape, or perhaps a fresh start. The exact circumstances leading to the gunfight remain somewhat shrouded in historical ambiguity. Yet the outcome was tragically clear, a deadly exchange of gunfire that brought an end to Rudabaugh's life. As the sun hung low over the Mexican town, a confrontation unfolded, driven by a convergence of factors that were emblematic of the era. Whether fueled by personal grievances, cultural misunderstandings, or a culmination of tensions, the clash escalated swiftly, culminating in a violent shootout. In those fleeting moments, the echoes of gunfire painted a grim picture of a life marred by conflict and defined by the barrel of a gun. Rudabaugh's reputation as an outlaw and gunfighter likely cast a long shadow over the events that transpired. His notoriety as a figure willing to embrace lawlessness and violence added a layer of intensity to the confrontation, potentially setting the stage for a showdown that had been brewing since his early days as a cowboy and outlaw. In the aftermath of the gunfight, Rudabaugh's legacy became etched in the annals of the Wild West, a legacy marked by audacity, recklessness, and the indomitable spirit of an individual unafraid to face danger head-on. The town of Parral, once a backdrop to the climax of his story, became forever linked with the final moments of a man whose life encapsulated the complexities and dangers of the frontier. The tale of Dave Rudabaugh's life, while punctuated by audacious heists, notorious alliances, and legal battles, ultimately found its conclusion in a foreign land. His journey through the Wild West, from his cowboy days to his outlaw exploits and ill-fated alliances, illuminated the multifaceted nature of an era where individual choices often led to unexpected consequences. As history looks back on Dave Rudabaugh, his presence in Parral serves as a somber reminder of the price paid for a life defined by conflict and the allure of the outlaw lifestyle. The gunshot echoes that reverberated through the streets of that Mexican town marked not just the end of a single life, but the fading of an era where figures like Rudabaugh grappled with their own destinies against the backdrop of a rapidly changing frontier. Fact number 3, Dave Rudabaugh's violent episode. The pages of Wild West history are often marked by episodes of sudden violence, driven by desperation, recklessness, or the ever-present tension that defined the era. On a fateful day, Dave Rudabaugh found himself at the center of such an incident. An altercation that would leave 2 men dead and another wounded, further cementing his reputation as a figure willing to embrace lethal force. The details leading up to this confrontation remain an interplay of historical record and anecdotal accounts. Yet the outcome speaks to the unforgiving reality of life in the American frontier. Whether fueled by personal grievances, a clash of tempers, or simply the culmination of underlying tensions, the explosive events unfolded in a matter of moments, leaving an indelible mark on Rudabaugh's legacy. As Rudabaugh's pistol was drawn and shots rang out, the lives of those involved were irrevocably altered. The abruptness of the violence underscores the unpredictability that colored interactions during a time when disagreements were often settled at gunpoint. In the wake of the confrontation, the silence that settled over the scene would have been a stark contrast to the chaotic and deadly exchange that had taken place. This incident, like many others of its kind, reflects the harsh reality of the Wild West, a reality where disputes could escalate swiftly and violently, with life-altering consequences. The act of drawing a pistol and using it to take lives was a somber reflection of the moral ambiguity and the quest for survival that characterized the era. For Dave Rudabaugh, the incident serves as a poignant reminder of the choices that defined his life. His willingness to resort to lethal force reflected the harsh necessities of an existence, often defined by danger, lawlessness, and the ever-present threat of violence. As his name becomes intertwined with this episode, it stands as a testament to the complexities and contradictions of an individual navigating the harsh landscapes of the Wild West. Fact number 4, Dave Rudabaugh's fatal encounter. The final chapter of Dave Rudabaugh's tumultuous life unfolded with a tragic sequence of events, a poignant reflection of the unpredictable and often perilous nature of the Wild West. In the twilight hours of that fateful day, a saloon in Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, would serve as the stage for Rudabaugh's final moments, a conclusion marked by a series of decisions that sealed his fate. As Rudabaugh exited the saloon, unharmed after the altercation, he stepped into a world fraught with tension and shadows. His initial escape appeared to offer a chance at a new beginning, an opportunity to evade the cycle of violence that had trailed him throughout his life. However, fortune was not on his side that night. Unable to locate his horse, Rudabaugh's return to the saloon marked a critical juncture, one that would prove to be his last. Shadows concealed the presence of an assailant, and as Rudabaugh re-entered, shots rang out, piercing the air and bringing an abrupt end to his journey. The hail of bullets found their mark, leaving Rudabaugh mortally wounded. The circumstances surrounding Rudabaugh's return to the saloon and the identity of his assailant remain shrouded in historical obscurity. Yet, what remains undeniable is the tragic irony of his fate, an outlaw who, having narrowly escaped one confrontation, found himself ensnared in another from which there was no escape. As he lay wounded, the echoes of gunfire reverberated through the saloon, perhaps mingling with the echoes of his tumultuous past. The silence that followed, punctuated only by the sounds of a town oblivious to the momentous event, bore witness to the end of a life defined by audacity, defiance, and the pursuit of personal freedom. Dave Rudabaugh's death in that dimly lit saloon encapsulates the essence of an era, a time marked by perilous gambles and fleeting moments of violence that forever altered the trajectories of individuals. His legacy, a tapestry woven with tales of robberies, alliances, and desperate flights, found its final stroke in the dimly lit corners of Parle. Fact number 5. Dave Rudabaugh's gruesome legacy. The closing chapter of Dave Rudabaugh's life took a chilling and macabre turn, casting a somber shadow over the tumultuous narrative of the Wild West. In the aftermath of his fatal encounter in Parle, Chihuahua, Mexico, Rudabaugh's body faced a fate both gruesome and haunting, a fate that starkly highlighted the brutal nature of frontier justice and the depths of human cruelty. Following the fatal gunfight that claimed his life, Rudabaugh's remains became objects of dark fascination for those who sought to leave a lasting, chilling message. The echoes of the violence that had unfolded in the dimly lit saloon were not confined to that night alone. Instead, they reverberated through the actions that followed, a sequence of events that defied the bounds of humanity and underscored the brutality of the era. Rudabaugh's lifeless body was subjected to a horrifying act, decapitation by machete. The very tool that was designed for practical purposes became an instrument of horror, severing the connection between body and head. This grotesque act of violence stands as a grim reminder of the lengths to which individuals would go to assert dominance, extract revenge, or send a chilling warning to others who might dare follow a similar path. The indignity of Rudabaugh's fate did not end with decapitation. His severed head, a haunting symbol of his life's journey and its violent end, was placed atop a pole, a gruesome display intended to leave an indelible imprint on the memories of those who witnessed it. This grotesque tableau served as a stark testament to the lawlessness and barbarism that could thrive in a world governed by frontier justice. The decision to display Rudabaugh's head on a pole was a calculated act of terror, a visceral representation of the cycle of violence and retribution that characterized the Wild West. It spoke to the primal instincts of dominance and the pursuit of power, instincts that could manifest in the most horrifying ways in an environment where life was cheap and justice was often administered at the barrel of a gun. In the annals of history, Dave Rudabaugh's final fate serves as a haunting cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkest depths to which humanity can descend when driven by vengeance and the desire to exert control. The brutality inflicted upon his remains marked a chilling epilogue to a life marked by audacity, alliances, and a reckless embrace of danger. Fact number 6. Dave Rudabaugh's iconic meetings. In the annals of the American Old West, few figures encapsulate the spirit of the era quite like Dave Rudabaugh. A name synonymous with lawlessness and audacity, Rudabaugh's life traversed the tapestry of the West's most notorious personalities, as if he were destined to intersect with the legends that have become synonymous with that tumultuous time. Dave Rudabaugh's unique distinction rests in his encounters with an extraordinary array of iconic figures. In a curious twist of fate, his path crossed with Dave Mather, Bat Masterson, Pat Garrett, Wyatt Earp, Billy the Kid, and Doc Holliday. A roster that reads like a who's who of the Wild West. The tapestry of Rudabaugh's encounters spans lawmen and outlaws, gunmen and gamblers, each figure leaving their indelible mark on the annals of history. It's within the fabric of these interactions that Rudabaugh's complex character emerges, a man whose life was shaped by the dynamic interplay of alliances, rivalries, and chance meetings. From the infamous lawman Wyatt Earp to the notorious gunslinger Billy the Kid, Rudabaugh's presence bridged the chasm between those who upheld the law and those who defied it. His associations with figures like Doc Holliday, known for their own complex legacies, further highlight his immersion in a world where violence and lawlessness often blurred the lines between right and wrong. The convergence of Rudabaugh's path with Bat Masterson and Pat Garrett, a lawman who would eventually be involved in Billy the Kid's demise, serves as a testament to the interconnectedness of the Wild West. As Rudabaugh navigated a landscape marked by outlaws and enforcers, his interactions painted a vivid picture of an era teetering on the edge of chaos. Yet, amid the tumultuous clashes and fleeting alliances, Rudabaugh's life remains a mosaic of contradictions, a figure willing to both embrace the outlaw lifestyle and collaborate with lawmen in the pursuit of opportunities and survival. His presence at the crossroads of so many legends speaks to the enigmatic nature of the Wild West, where individuals often straddled the boundaries between heroism and villainy. As history looks back on the lives that defined the American frontier, Dave Rudabaugh's name stands as a testament to the intricate dance of fate, ambition, and circumstance. His encounters with icons who shaped the era provide a lens through which we glimpse the essence of an epoch, a time when individuals like Rudabaugh, driven by an insatiable thirst for freedom and adventure, etched their stories onto the canvas of history.